The film begins with Hutch Mansell, bruised and battered, sitting silently inside an interrogation room. This time, he isn't alone. A dog rests at his side. As Hutch tends to his wounds, two federal agents press him for answers. "Who are you?" one of them demands. Hutch looks up with calm defiance and simply replies, "Us. Not Mr. Nobody. Just us." Rewinding to earlier events, we learn that Hutch has returned to his life as a professional assassin, taking on contracts from the barber to pay off the debt he owes the Russians after destroying their obshak. But the work is draining him, pushing him further away from his wife, Becca, and their two children, Brady and Sammy. Hutch confesses to himself that the job is consuming his life and tearing his family apart. Tired of the distance, he tells the barber that he plans to take a break and spend the summer with his family. The barber, though reluctant, agrees. At home, Hutch stumbles upon an old ad for a summer destination called Plummerville Place, the same town where his father David used to take him and his brother Harry when they were kids. With summer vacation approaching, Hutch convinces Becca and the children to go on a family getaway. He promises Becca that his double life will not interfere. With David joining them from his retirement home, the family hits the road. Singing together on the drive, they finally arrive at the nostalgic little town of Plummerville. Once the kids are settled, Hutch and Becca share a quiet afternoon of wine and conversation, enjoying the closeness they'd been missing. Later, the family heads to a water park, but finds it temporarily closed due to an incident. As compensation, they're given hot dog coupons. Hutch takes everyone to a diner where he reminisces with David and Harry. But Hutch's presence attracts the unwanted attention of the local sheriff, Abel. The family later visits an arcade after receiving free passes. There, Hutch tries bonding with Brady, who shows up with a suspicious black eye. While Brady pretends it's from football, it's hinted he got into a fight. Brady casually flirts with girls at the arcade, giving away some of his tickets, then uses the rest to win a prize for his little sister, Sammy. Trouble begins when one girl's jealous boyfriend, Max, confronts Brady. Max rips Sammy's prize in half, sparking Brady to retaliate, punching him and twisting his arm behind his back. Hutch rushes to break it up, but things only escalate. As the family tries to leave, Sammy bends down to pick up her broken doll. An arcade worker cruelly smacks her hand away. That's the breaking point. Hutch, trying to keep calm for Becca's sake, hesitates, but then turns back and unleashes his rage. He brutally dismantles the worker along with two others who try to intervene. Becca watches in horror as Hutch's dark side emerges. Soon after, both Hutch and Brady are hauled to the police station. At the station, Hutch tries to teach Brady a lesson. Defending his sister is right, but there are better ways to do it. Brady, however, snaps back, pointing out that Hutch himself lost his temper first. Before the argument continues, Sheriff Abel escorts Hutch into his office, where he meets Max's father, Wyatt Martin, the wealthy owner of Plummerville's theme park. Wyatt makes it clear he runs this town, and outsiders like Hutch are not welcome. Furious that Brady injured Max's pitching arm, Wyatt demands the family leave town immediately. Hutch agrees, but as soon as Hutch exits, Abel secretly instructs his men to follow and eliminate him. Meanwhile, Becca lashes out at Hutch for breaking his promise not to cause trouble. Hutch apologizes sincerely, and Becca softens, reminiscing with him about the early days of their relationship. The next day, Hutch takes the family on a duck boat ride. When he notices Abel's men trailing them, he quickly separates himself, boarding a different boat to draw the goons away. What starts as an attempt to de-escalate turns violent. Hutch demolishes the attackers, but in the fight, one thug slices off his finger. The severed piece falls into the water, instantly devoured by fish. Believing Hutch is dead after being kicked overboard, the men are shocked when he resurfaces and beats them even more savagely. Realizing this tourist is far from ordinary, the surviving thug reports back to Abel. Hutch, now aware of how deep the danger runs, contacts his brother Harry for backup and reaches out to the barber. The barber explains that Plummerville has long been a covert hub for drug trafficking, controlled by a ruthless woman named Lendina. She's unpredictable and known for leaving trails of blood. In a chilling scene, Lendina is introduced at her casino, catching a man cheating at poker. Without hesitation, she kills him, his dealer, and every bystander in the room. The barber warns Hutch, If he crosses Lendina, she'll slaughter his entire family before his eyes. Meanwhile, Wyatt receives a call from Lendina. It's revealed he works for her, trapped after she killed his father and forced him to pay off debts. Abel, secretly double-crossing Wyatt, also serves Lendina. She orders Abel to keep Wyatt compliant by kidnapping Max. Hutch tracks Abel and his crew to a warehouse filled with cash meant for Lendina. He drenches the money in gasoline, threatening to burn it unless Abel leaves him and his family alone. Abel seemingly agrees, but Hutch notices Max being taken away. He storms back, killing Abel's men in brutal fashion, one even meeting his end on a table saw. Hutch rescues Max, but the warehouse erupts in flames, destroying Lendina's cash and chemicals. When Lendina learns of the destruction, she vows war against Hutch. Abel, scarred but alive, urges her to assemble an army. Hutch, realizing his family is the target, has David take Becca and the kids to a secluded lodge. He also brings Max, who finally bonds with Brady. Before leaving for battle, Hutch admits to Becca that he broke his promise and begs her to stay away for her safety. Meanwhile, Wyatt, devastated by Max's abduction, nearly attacks Hutch but breaks down when Hutch reassures him that Max is safe. Wyatt reveals his father's hidden arsenal of weapons, tools once meant to bring down Lendina. Together with Hutch, David, and Harry, they prepare Plummerville's theme park into a massive death trap. Back at the lodge, Becca struggles with being sidelined. Pretending to take a walk, she secretly arms herself with a rifle. Meanwhile, Lendina's forces arrive in town. She commands her henchman Cartouche to assault the lodge while she heads to the theme park. Abel attempts to guide her, but she grows tired of him and has him executed. Then, the war begins. The theme park transforms into a battleground. Mines hidden in the ball pit, swinging grenades, and booby traps tear through Lendina's goons as Hutch and Wyatt fight side by side. At the lodge, Karch's men attack, but Brady bravely fights back. Max protects Sammy while Harry slices through enemies with his katana, finally decapitating Cartouche in a duel. At the park, Hutch, Wyatt, and David are overpowered. Lendina prepares to execute Hutch herself, but Wyatt makes a last stand, firing on her henchmen. Just as Lendina raises her weapon, Becca arrives and shoots her with tranquilizer darts, stunning her. A final wave of soldiers charges in, but David detonates the last explosives, leveling the park in a fiery inferno. Hutch and Becca dive into a pool, kissing as flames engulf the enemy. Lendina dies with a twisted grin on her face, consumed by fire. In the aftermath, Hutch and Becca are once again in an interrogation room with their rescued dog. Their superior reluctantly orders their release. Returning home, the family gathers to watch a slideshow of their trip. Smiling faces, laughter, Brady's new girlfriend, Wyatt and Max included. For once, Hutch is at peace. Sitting back, he smiles at the life he fought to protect, finally enjoying his family.